Okay, so I got a Sub-Zero 642. I went on vacation. I turned the water off to the house. When I came back, I turned the water on. And when the ice maker kicked in, water started coming out the back of the refrigerator. So I think when the water came on, it blew the hose off the back. So I went into the freezer and I took apart the freezer, and I found that the water inlet stainless tubing that's inside the freezer was plugged solid with ice. So I cleared that out. So if you want to turn the freezer off to work on it like I'm doing here, all you do is come over here, you turn it off here, and then if you want to leave the refrigerator on, hold the warmer button and turn the unit back on, and what you'll see is there's dashes here showing that the freezer is off but the refrigerator is still working. Okay, so when I reinstall everything, I'll show you you just got to do the reverse of my reinstall so you can take everything apart. But what I found was that this tube, which was here, was full of ice. This is the feed tube that runs your ice tray. So it was solid ice. I used a heat gun to heat it up. I pushed the ice out of it. And then also it was solid ice in this tube here. So I used a heat gun to get that. And just let it thaw on its own. Eventually that little cube of ice came out of there. So now everything's clear, so I'm just going to reassemble everything. Okay, so this is with the tube back in. There was a little black line on here, so I just pushed it until the line was lined up with the edge of the rubber seal there, and then slightly rotated it so that everything's clear here, and then the pipe is inside this little box, inside this groove here. Okay, so putting this back panel back in, you got a notch here on each side, and then there's pins up in each corner, the white pins. So you just push those back up to where they line up in there. Like so. And then down here you have two screws that go in. Now I'm going to go to the back of the fridge and remove the tubing, or see what happened, if it blew out or what happened with that. I took the grill off already. To get the grill off, there's 3 Phillips screws. One is right there from the freezer, and you got 2 on the fridge side. There and there. You take those 3 screws out, the whole panel can hinge down, and then you're gonna have this spring here. You just unhook it from one side, unhook the spring on the other side, and then the whole panel comes right off really easy. Then up here, I don't know if you have this, but this is a safety strap that's screwed to the top of the fridge with a Phillips screw. You got to take that out. Okay, and then underneath, you're gonna remove this kick panel plate. So there's 2 Phillips screws that hold that on. Then the plate comes out. Okay, next, so at the bottom of the fridge, you're gonna have the water line that's gonna come in. Mine has a valve right here. Hopefully you got a shut-off valve. You're gonna turn the valve off, and then you're gonna, with the valve off, disconnect the downstream side that goes to your solenoid shut-off for the ice maker. And then once that's disconnected, you're going to drop the wheels. So the rear wheels is this 5/16 screw. Mine are already lowered in the back. I found it like that. So you're just gonna loosen this screw up on both sides. So the back wheels are on the ground, and then you're gonna equally lower each side, the left and right in the front, with this 1/4 inch screw on the top for the leg. So you're gonna turn this 1/4 inch out equally on the left and the right, and this is gonna come down. Before you do that, I took a measurement from the ground to the bottom of the foot. Mine was about 1 inch off the ground. Okay, so this screw here for the rear wheel, you only have to back it out until it's loose like that. You don't have to keep turning it, just till it's loose, and the wheels are on the ground. See over there, wheels on the ground. And also, I want to mention, if you have trouble getting over tiles or anything like that, you're gonna have maybe put a piece of sheet metal or something to get across so the rollers can roll across the cracks there, the spaces. Okay, so I got the water line disconnected. So there's also a drip pan here. So right on the front left corner, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little plastic nub that sticks down. You push that up, and then you can pull the pan out. You know, just make sure that the pan is empty. If it's not, then you can clean it out, get the water out. Okay, so you just loosen these, and you go back and forth on each side, slowly lowering it to the floor. Okay, so once you got these backed all the way off, now the frame is on the floor. Actually, I'm sorry, the wheels are on the floor. Now you should be able to roll out the refrigerator. And make sure that you do switch off your unit first before unplugging it. Just be careful when you're pulling the refrigerator out, because it does have a tendency to be top heavy on the front, and it's trying to tip this direction. So that's what I was using the doors for, a little bit of leverage. But just be careful of that. And then once you get it out far enough, which I'm not there yet, but the cord, you have to unplug the cord there. Okay, put a little piece of sheet metal there for under the wheels. If you can't get a grip on it to pull it out away from the wall, you could open both doors up. Open the doors up and then have them out, and then you can use those for a little bit of leverage to be able to pull the fridge out. Okay, so on the back there's this thin panel here, this strip. There's 7 screws total, Phillips, 2 at the bottom, 2 in the middle, 2 at the top, and then 1 is at the very top right here. So it's got a little lip on the top here, so if you can't get the panel out for whatever reason, if you pull it from the bottom first, it should come right out, no problem. And here we go, I just took it off, and here's a problem why it was leaking. The tubing is disconnected. It came out, so every time the water gets called for, the solenoid opens and it starts leaking water right out here. So I'm gonna have to see if I can get that hooked back up. Also, you want to be careful because this the edges of this panel are pretty sharp. Maybe have gloves on. Okay, so the end of the hose the tube has a little brass insert. It was still there. The tubing is all still pliable. It's not brittle or anything. So then you just squeeze this clamp and you get it put back up on there. Also, you can see when the line blew off, the water is trapped within this tray because of this panel on the back. So it just goes right down and into the drip pan, and which is what I was seeing, and then it just overflows from there, and probably also runs down the back of this panel here, which is the water that I was seeing come out the back of the unit. Okay, with the tubing reconnected, then go ahead and put the panel back on. Okay, once you get it back in position and you jack up the feet, then you reconnect your spring, put the door back up here and reconnect your springs. Close this up. And then you reconnect your safety strap here so that it doesn't tip over if you have it. And then you reinstall your 3 screws, 2 in the fridge, 1 in the freezer. After you turn it on, turn on your ice maker with the ice maker ice on off button, and you should see ice displayed there. So then you wait a few minutes, and after the timer goes, you should hear that the solenoid opens and then water starts filling. You look underneath. I didn't see any water leaking anymore, so that took care of the water leak problem. And then you just go ahead and put the panel back on the bottom with the 2 screws that you removed earlier. Okay, and this is it with the 2 screws put back on the kick panel. Okay, and that's it. That fixed my problem, so hopefully this video helps someone. Thanks.